Hey, it's Gruber with part 2 of this collaboration with Christian and Lazy Devs. In this video, I'm going to write a few things. First is a short fanfare for when you beat a level, another fanfare for game over, and then something a bit longer for when you beat the game. Here we go. All right, so let's start with this short fanfare for when you beat a level. Unlike the title music, I think I have an idea of something that I want to do, and hopefully I'll get to show a little composition trick along the way. I want something obviously short, and I'm thinking I'm going to try and use only three sound effect slots, maybe 2. We'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to set these up right now. And I want something that's going to sound like da 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 da. So we've got like one phrase, a second phrase that is rhythmically similar, but maybe with different pitches, and then a third phrase which is rhythmically similar, but with different pitches, but goes a little bit longer. And all of these phrases are kind of ascending in pitch. So I'll see what happens here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the pentatonic scale. For all my tutorial videos, I'm going to try and use the pentatonic scale because it's the easiest to explain. And I'm going to use that trick where you hold command in pitch mode and drag, and you get the pentatonic scale. So that's what I'm going to use here. And let's see here. So it's going to be like maybe something like this. It's probably going to need to be higher too. Yeah, that's all right. Let's make it kind of have a volume tail up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and just find the right spacing. And this is going to go a little bit higher. And let's hold this note like this. Put a volume tail on this. And actually, I think I want just one more note. There we go. Yeah, okay, so that's the basic structure of our little stinger fanfare. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the second, third phrase, and I'm going to transpose it up. Let's just try 2 semitones for now. Then I'm going to take the second one and transpose that up 2 semitones. So it's going to sound like this. And let's make this volume tail just fade out a little nicer. So I actually have 2 pentatonic scales. I've got C minor pentatonic scale, I have a D minor pentatonic scale, and an E minor pentatonic scale here, except I've just sequenced them. So I've got a pattern here, repeated it twice, but slightly different. And then the third time is also slightly different with different pitches, but it continues on a little bit, and we've got our volume tail. And in composing, this is called sequencing, where you take an idea and you repeat it, and on the third, fourth time, you change it up a little bit. It happens everywhere. So now what we're going to do is just take this and experiment with making it sound better. So I'm going to try using an echo effect, and let's put it in the next channel. And because this is an echo, I'm going to lower the volumes. What does this sound like? Okay, let's make sure we're all on the same speed here. Okay, so, whoops, where am I? Not sure I'm a fan of the sound of the echo, so I'm just going to put it on loop a little bit and then try to experiment with different sounds. Different volume tails. What if we tried instrument 5? Okay, what happens if we take it and echo it again? Okay. And maybe we will use 4 channels because it's the end of the, if it's the end of the level, there shouldn't be any sound effects happening, so we don't have to worry about it interfering with anything. Actually, I think what needs to happen, there needs to be some kind of harmony. So let's take this D and see what happens if we just paste it in here. Volume tail, we'll get rid of the fade out for a little bit. And let's keep this B. And get rid of the volume tails. Sorry, the effect. Okay, I think that sounds okay. We just got to make sure maybe they all need to land at the same spot. So, like this. So here's our final note of that phrase, and we just want to hit that harmony at the same time. And let's get them all ending at the same time too. Okay, that's cool. So now let's try to add something else here since we have the space. Why don't I make it sound kind of like a, make it like a, I don't know, like a bass sound or something. So I'm going to put it down the octave. I'm going to give it a different instrument sound. And maybe lower the volume a bit. Okay, now let's try and fill in some gaps here, maybe with like, let's accent the beginning of each of the beginning of the phrase with like some kind of kick drum or something. So that's going to be here, here, and here. And then what happens if we add like a snare sound? Okay, I think we're onto something here. What else can I do with this? I think maybe the echo is too much. So I think what it needs is it sounding more like it's being harmonized rather than it's an echo. So how can I do that easily? I think what I'll do is I'm going to get rid of the echo in this channel, so that's all the 7s. And then I'm going to try and make some harmony with these notes in this channel. So and then maybe this will be E flat. This is D minor pentatonic, so I've got an A1 here, so 2 notes below A in the D minor pentatonic is going to be F1. And then 2 notes below C2 in the D minor pentatonic scale is going to be G. So that's just this up a tone. Let's get rid of my effect 3 because that's annoying. And then if this is all moving by step, let's see, I should be able to take this and maybe put it here. See what this sounds like. Yeah, this is sounding better. And let's do A2. And then this is going to be B2. Yeah, okay. I think I'm just going to leave that there. Eventually, you just got to say, that's enough. And that's what I'm saying. That's enough. Otherwise, this video is going to take forever. Okay, what's next? So the next thing is like a game over fanfare. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to do the same idea of taking a phrase, repeating it 3 times in sequence, but we're going to maybe make it go downwards instead of upwards. So let's see. So we've got 32, 33, 4, and 5. We're going to create 36 and up. And we'll do the same thing, except we'll start higher. Oh, whoops, missed a note here. And then copy this here, and then copy this a little bit. And make a little bit longer of a tail. I think that's about the same length, is it? I think it is. Now the challenge is going to be making this sound more defeated. Okay, what's our tempo? 9. Okay, so let's take 9. Volume tail. And then we're going to do the same sequencing trick except instead of moving it down by 2 tones, let's move it down by 3. Oh, sorry, that's 4. Undo 3. 3. What does this sound like? Okay, that's all right. Now we want to make it sound maybe a little harsher. So let's use a different instrument. I think I like instrument 4, at least to start. So, all right, let's try and remember what we did. So I think next effect, we created an echo, and we'll just make this slightly softer. And okay, let's make sure these are all lining up. And we want this to be kind of like a chord, so let's make it on E. Oops, except up the octave. So we want it to kind of like be a little be a little edgy and dissonant with this note, so it's sitting right beside, and we want it to land there at the same time. And I think maybe let's let it go for a little bit longer. Too long. Okay, that's cool. Now, how did we do this? We'll start with some kind of bass drum sound. And we're just putting it at the beginning of the phrase. I'm lining it up with this row here. Whoops, it keeps on moving around. This row here, I'm lining it up like that. And then I want a snare at the end of the phrase. I think that's what I did, right? Yeah. Whoops, this one belongs here. And okay. And then we'll take this and copy it over into 39, make it down the octave, make it instrument 1. Okay, so now let's try and get this some harmony going. So 2 notes down from F is C. Sorry, I don't mean 2 notes down from F. I mean in relation to the C minor pentatonic scale, it's 2 steps from F. So 1 step from F is D sharp. 2 steps from F is C. So I'm putting this C and moving it here. 2 steps down from D sharp is A sharp. Okay, let me get rid of the sound effect. Sorry, the effect 3. Don't need it. Actually, I need effect 5. That's what I need. Okay, same thing. Now, actually, what I could do is I could take this, and this should work. Copy it into here, and then transpose it by 3 semitones. Okay, now here, what pentatonic scale am I using here? Looks like F sharp. So this is going to go, let's see if I can do this quick. And I want this on C sharp. Cool. Okay, now just for a little added spice, let's see what happens when we move this all down in semitones. Just to add to the defeat. Ah, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take these notes, which is our kind of like our final chord, and then I'm going to create a slide tail moving down by semitones here. So let's get rid of this. I'm just going to copy this like that. Whoops. And so I'm on E and then move down by semitones. And I'm going to do the same thing here, except I need to move down the octave. Oh, I'm on instrument 1 here. Was I in instrument 1 in the last one? No, I was on the same instrument. Oh, the other thing I want to experiment with is the quality of this echo. Right now they're both on instrument 4. So, and this is on instrument 1, so I want to move that. Let's move everything to 4, and then I'll play with that in a second. Let me just finish this slide. That'll be cool. And then same thing goes with this. So F sharp, F, moving these down in semitones. Okay, and let's stop it so that's not looping. Okay, that's all right. All right, let's try messing with this echo. See if we can hear a difference. Let's try instrument 2. I'm going to go back. I'm going to loop it again so I can A and B things. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to leave that as well. So we have our victory stinger. And then we have our game over. Why don't we see if we can change the tempo of this, make it a little slower. Yeah, I think I like it slower. I also don't like this echo here. I don't like the tail that it's making in this space. Okay, we're going to leave that. Okay, so next is a little jingle for when you beat the game. So what I think I'm going to try is one thing I like to keep in mind when I'm writing music for games is how all of the themes and the music all relate to each other throughout the game, and I try to at least think about. It's not always doable, but I always try to keep things as unified as possible. Like, for example, throughout this entire game, throughout this entire soundtrack so far, we've only used the pentatonic scale. These two fanfares are inversions in a way of each other. And so I'd like to try something similar with the game over music, except I'm going to take elements of the title music and try to change it in a way so that, I don't know, it sounds more victorious, I guess. So let's go back and listen to the game music, and I'm going to just see what elements I can take out of it and try to work on for the game over music. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because I'm already getting some ideas. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the tempo quicker. And maybe instead of starting in D sharp minor, I will start in a more happy key. So maybe I'll start in this key. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to use D sharp minor. Because the other thing to consider is that at the end of the game, when you beat a game, usually the next screen you see after that is the title screen. So I don't want those to be in the same key. Otherwise, it's going to sound kind of anticlimactic. You want the story to start fresh. And so a change of key when you go back to the title screen will help elevate that, I don't know, replayability. So I'm going to take these ideas, but maybe transpose them to a different key. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to take sound effect 23 and 21 and start with those. So there's 21 and 23. I'm just going to copy those three into, where am I going here? Into 40. Okay, so let's figure out a good tempo here. So I want something faster. Let's just, I don't know, try 16. Yeah, that sounds okay. So let's transpose this all to, we're in D sharp minor right now. So let's move it down by a third. So I'm going to take this all, Shift N, transposing down 3 steps. There we go. Okay, so now let's look at these parts individually. Let's look at 41. Okay, let's I don't know if I'll keep the slides. We'll just keep the slides in there, but I might play with those later. The next thing, I think, let's change the bass line here. So if we're in if we're in C, if we're using the C minor pentatonic scale, then let's move this to, I don't know, G. All right, let's just start with that. I'm not sure if I like that movement. So let's try the next note in the pentatonic scale, which is B flat. And then now I hear it going to the G. So let's move to the next pattern. So I've got 40, 41, 42. So let's copy those here and move them all up by 4 because it's all going to change. And we'll copy that like this. And we'll move this to a G. Oops. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Oh, we might as well use 40 again here, so we don't need 44. I don't know if I like the B flat. Let's try another note of the pentatonic scale. Let's move it to F. All right, that's okay. And that's going to loop. Okay, now let's, I don't remember what we did to make this sound better in the introduction. So let's just take a look really quickly. What's going on in 22? Okay, right. It's kind of like ascending the
the scale. So we've got like a group of 5 and a group of 5, groups of 5, and then little weird sound effects in the middle. So let's try and copy that again over here. So we'll use 42. We're using C minor pentatonic scale, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm holding down Command as I drag this. And copy those here. Whoops. What speed are we at? Oh yeah, 16 is the right speed. Let's bring those down in volume. Okay. What happens if we make them all short? That's okay. What happens if we put slides? This might sound too out. Yeah, that's too much. So, I don't know, let's keep them without an effect. Or let's try effect 4. Actually, I like that. And then let's take this and echo it here. Like that. And same thing with this. Copying it, and I'm pasting it one row after to make it the echo. That's okay. What do I want? Okay, I'm going to put those again in 42 and 43. Loop. Let's hear it looped. All right, now I'm just going to play with it. I'm going to keep it on loop and play with the echo, the instruments, some of the volumes and the effects, and see if I come up with anything interesting. Yeah, so what I did there was take the last 3 notes of that pattern and just repeated it, kind of like an echo of itself. So maybe try a different instrument the 3rd time. Okay, now let's, we have some space in here, and we originally filled this up with some kind of like neat sound effects. So let's go back to the beginning and see what sound, oops, not that far. And where are we going? And see what sound effects we use. I think they were in 22. All right, so I'm just going to take this and just copy it and paste it into 42. Let's just see what that sounds like. Okay, it's getting buried a little bit. Can't really hear the nuances of all these. So I'm going to try and play with the instrument.
not really working for me. So, what if we had something that was kind of like high, maybe just like a long held tone? Oh, I like that. Okay, so I originally just picked the highest note you can get in Pico-8, D#5, and that does work with the C minor pentatonic scale. So what if we just copy this, see what that sounds like? It sounds better on its own, but it's still not working. Let's maybe it needs a different note. Move it down the octave second time. Another thing that's bugging me, I think, is all those slides happening in SFX1, these guys. So I'm just going to get rid of them for now. Alright, that's okay. I wonder if I can use this for anything. All right, this is okay. Maybe what we can do is repeat this twice, like this. Now I'm thinking more bigger form. And so we've got kind of like A, B, A, B. And then we can continue A, B, except for 12, 13, 14, and 15, we add something new, some kind of melody or something different than what's already going on. So let's hear if that makes sense. Yeah, that would be kind of neat to have some kind of melody come in here at 12. So I've just copied and pasted all those here. And now what I do is figure out which one of these channels I need for a melody. So is it 43? Yeah, I could probably use that. Actually, I think I'll use 42. Yeah, I'm going to use 42. So let's see here. So instead of 42, I'm going to use 46. 46 is open. Great. Okay, and now I'm going to write the melody kind of similarly to how I wrote it in the previous video. I'm just going to kind of randomly draw in some things. I've got the control key hit down. I've got the control key pressed down so that everything I write here is going to be part of the scale that I'm using. And let's see what happens. Okay, so I like the beginning. Let's put in some volume tails here. I want it to hold on this note for a little bit. Yeah, that needs to change. So let's try and draw something else in here. So maybe something that goes down like that. I don't know. And even before hearing it, I know that I'm going to want to have volume tails in all the notes that are repeated. So all right, let's maybe choose a different instrument. And then rather than have this repeat, the same melody repeat, let's make a new one. So I've just copied it into 47, and it's going to be 47, except we're going to draw something different. Let's I don't know, down like this. A few whole held notes. All right, let's see what that sounds like together. Just the A and B. Oops, it was supposed to be 47. Okay, now I'm just going to play with this melody a little bit more, try and discover a different way to phrase it. Just moving things down the octave. All right, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, now just to polish it a little bit, I'm not even polish, I'm just going to experiment a little bit more, adding some more effects. Maybe put a... Okay, so here that's because it's arpeggiating this low note here. And I don't want that, so we'll put in F3 here. So I'll just kind of like put in some sixes here and there. That's all right. And what about this one? What if we put in some slides? Too much. All right, let's listen to that. Okay, good. And we're going to loop this. So we've got A, B, loop back here. Okay, let's listen to the whole endgame theme. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to stop there then and send this to Christian and get some feedback from him. Hopefully this gives you some insight into the compositional process. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. GruberMusic.com.